In the Sophia stage, something shifts. Not dramatically, not with a declaration or a confrontation, more like a tide going out. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, the energy she once poured into naming the other person's feelings, anticipating their needs, managing the emotional ecosystem of the relationship, she withdraws it. She stops doing the emotional labor without announcing that she is stopping. And this confuses and sometimes devastates the people who had come to rely on that. She does not withdraw it cruelly. She withdraws it because she has finally recognized something. You cannot teach someone to be emotionally mature any more than you can grow someone else's teeth for them. It is their work to do. And the energy she was spending doing it for them was energy she was not spending on herself. This is economy. This is clarity. This looks like distance to everyone who is benefiting from her labor. Now, I want to introduce a concept that is, in my view, the most misunderstood idea in all of Jungian psychology. It is an ancient alchemical concept that Jung brought into the language of depth psychology, the hieros gamos, which translates from Greek as the sacred marriage. In alchemical tradition, the hieros gamos described the union of opposites, sun and moon, sulfur and mercury, and the masculine principle and the feminine principle into a unified whole. Jung used this image to describe what happens internally during individuation, the integration of the animus with the feminine psyche, so that a woman no longer experiences these as opposing forces she must choose between, but as complementary aspects of a single, coherent self. She integrates her capacity to act and her capacity to receive, her power to cut and her power to hold, her clarity and her depth. When this integration happens, something extraordinary occurs, and it is deeply counterintuitive. She becomes, in the psychological sense, complete. Not perfect, not finished. The process of individuation never finishes, but complete in the sense that she is no longer organized around an absence, and she no longer experiences herself as a half waiting for another half to make her whole. This is the concept that completely dismantles the mythology of the soulmate, of the other half, of the person who completes you. A woman in the Sophia stage has already completed that marriage, internally. She has become her own sovereign territory. And the consequence of that internal sovereignty is this: any relationship she enters now must be what Robert A. Johnson called additive. It must add to a life that is already whole. She is not looking for someone to fill a void because the void has been filled from within. If someone comes, they come as a companion to a complete person, not as the missing piece of an incomplete one. Johnson himself, writing about romantic love in the Western psyche, God described it as one of the most powerful projections the human mind produces. He called it, without exaggeration, the greatest addiction of the Western world. He meant it precisely. Romantic love, in the way most people experience it, is not actually about the other person at all. It is about the projection of an inner figure onto an outer one, the experience of seeing your own soul reflected back to you through someone else's face. It feels like the most real thing in the world. It feels like recognition, like coming home, like finding the one person who understands. And in a psychological sense, it is real. It is just that what you are recognizing is not them. It is yourself. When a woman in the Sophia stage withdraws her projections, this intoxicating quality of romantic love simply goes quiet. The world does not disappear. It becomes more solid, more exact, less lit from within by fantasy. She sees men as they are, not worse than she imagined, but very different from who she had projected onto them. Ordinary, human, limited in specific ways, capable in other ways, real. And real is, in some moments, a strange kind of loss. There is a melancholy that comes with this. I want to name it, honestly, because it is often what drives women in this stage to wonder if something is wrong with them. The loss of the capacity to idealize is a real loss. The world that was once lit by romantic projection can seem, in comparison, more muted. The man in front of her is just a man, not the hero she once transformed him into through the power of her own inner imagery. But if you stay with